Ricky and I have been friends for a long time. We actually did an event together here several years ago with Bob Jones. And Ricky's been showing up in my dreams. And there's some things happening. I've actually invited Ricky to be with us next weekend, but you know, he's trying to figure that out, but I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm going to have him here soon. And I just want him to come and share. And I think Ricky is going to be key in this next season and what happens in Nashville. There's many people that are coming full circle. I've been having prophets call me. I've been showing up in a lot of high-level, you know, prophetic people, their dreams. That's good because I'm not a dreamer. I'm not much of a dreamer. When I get a dream, it's a God dream. Either that or the devil's tormenting me, one of the two. But that doesn't happen very often. I'm not a big dreamer. So when I get a dream, it's usually technicolor and it's the Lord speaking to me, and it's full on. It's you know, it's very, very, very detailed. But Ricky's been showing up in my dreams, and I've been showing up in other high-level prophetic prophets' dreams, and a lot of it's linked to the life of Bob Jones. And there's others. There's something new, guys. There's something new being released. There's something new being birthed. And I know that I'm just kind of talking in circles here a little bit because there's things that I know that I want to communicate that I can't communicate yet. There's things about the life of Bob that have happened in the last 12 hours of his life that I want to be able to communicate that I can't communicate. I can tell you some of the details surrounding the life of Bob Jones. And I can tell you some of the things surrounding the last few hours of his life. Like, you know, we all know that Bob passed away on February the 14th. Bill, turn that track down just a little bit. On the 14th, that's good. The 14th, he passed away in 2014. Bob was, for the last 2 days, from the 12th to the 13th and the 14th, Bob was in the hospital bed. He had a broken leg. He was diabetic. He was going into diabetic shock, and all different. His system was shutting down. He was on dialysis. You know, his liver was shutting down. Everything was shutting down. And so he was going in and out of consciousness. He was going in and out. He was seeing things. Things were happening. You know, he would see angels would come and stand in the room and minister to him. You know, and he would see it out loud and he would speak it out loud. Of course, that's not strange for Bob anyway. But he would cry out to Bonnie. Bonnie, 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 Bonnie. The last 2 days he was in bed. He couldn't walk. His leg had snapped. His bones were so weak from everything that was going on. He was in bed. And Bonnie was holding his hand the whole time. We're talking 24 hours around the clock. But on the 14th, early morning, at 2 o'clock in the morning, there was a night watchman there. His name was Don. I think I can share this with you. His name was Don, and he worked with Jim Baker with PTL for years and years. And now he's working at this hospital where Bob is at, and he knows Bob. And he's managing the hospital at night. He's security over all the wards in the hospital. So he's in a locked place where all the records are and all the the meds and all that stuff. You have to enter a security code to get in. 2 o'clock in the morning, he's sitting at his office behind the locked security door, and he hears boop, 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 boop. And the door opens up, and it's Bob Jones. Bob comes, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, Bob comes jumping, and he's yelling and dancing, and Don's going, man, Bob sure sprang back, you know. He said he looks good enough to discharge, you know. Bob, you know, and he's talking with Bob, and Bob's saying, hey, Don, you know, you need to really take care of the issues of your heart, buddy. You know, he's talking to him like, you need to take care of the issues of your heart. You need to forgive people. You need to forgive Jim Baker. You need to forgive this guy. You need to forgive this person. You need to tend the garden of your heart and to forgive. And he said, what are you talking about, Bob? He said, you need to forgive. You've got roots of bitterness in you. You need to forgive. Bob's talking to him. He's jumping around the room and he's singing in Aramaic. Come to find out. How do I know it was Aramaic? Because he told Don a bunch of things, and he said, I have a word for this man. I have a word for this ministry. And Don, I can tell you this too. Ooh, yeah, I can tell you this. See, these are things that have just come to light over the past couple of weeks that really very few people know. This is being recorded. I don't think we can put this on podcast. Not yet. And he said, well, so Bob is bouncing around the room, singing in Aramaic, laughing, jumping. He's like, man, he's wanting me to write this down and write this down and write down for this person. And Don notices there's blood on his arm. So he picked up a napkin to wipe the blood off. Said, Bob, come here. And he approached Bob with a napkin. He said, don't touch me. If you touch me, you will die. He said, I haven't changed yet. Don thought, that's strange. He sat down at the desk. And he said, I want you to write these things down. And so for the next 2 hours, he wrote a bunch of things down. Don was writing everything down that Bob was telling him. Now, this was about 2 hours. We had Rick Joyner here just a couple of months ago. Rick was talking about this. He said what Don wrote was actually, when he came out of the experience, it was all written in like machine typed, coded language that we don't understand. It was like it was written with a machine, and nobody knew what it was. It was in code. Don said, I know it wasn't a dream, because Bob came into the room. I mean, he, beep, 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 boop, boop, beep, and Bob walked into the room. He's jumping and dancing. He said he was standing in front of the light, and there was a shadow. It was Bob. It was physical. The whole time, Bob is in his hospital room with Bonnie holding his hand. He's going in and out of consciousness. Something happened. You think? I can't tell you what was written in code, but it was in ancient Aramaic. And as it was being deciphered and decoded, it's shocking. It's shocking. Who was that? Was it Bob? Yeah, it was Bob. No, it wasn't Bob. Could have been Bob. Was it Jesus? Yeah. No. Both. I do know this. What was communicated is what I believe is we are coming into. Bob always told me this. He said, oh God. Hold on. Bob always told me this. He said, Jeff, at the end of my life, now, I've been in counsel over the last couple of weeks with prophets that were around Bob. One of Bonnie is one. Bonnie told me everything that happened. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, she said, I never left his side. He never got out of the hospital bed. I was with him 24 hours. He had a broken leg. He couldn't walk. He was going in and out of death. So who was that bouncing, that decoded the code and got into the room, bouncing around the room in a physical form? Who was that? Was it Bob and his glorified body? I don't know. Was it Jesus? I don't know. Yeah. But Bob, who is the prophet, who was a prophet, and I think he was more than a prophet. He was the friend of Jesus. He came in, and there were mysteries that were being revealed. Bob always said, Jeff, at the end of my life, my ceiling, as far as I can reach in the Spirit, it's going to be your floor. It'll be your floor. So when my life is over, all of my breakthroughs, all of my accomplishments, everything that I was able to reach in the realm of the Spirit, it's for you to start at. And he wasn't just talking to me. He was talking about his sons. But he was talking to me too. A lot of people call Bob, their papa, but Bob knows who his boys are and girls, his sons and daughters. He said, at the end of my life, my ceiling will be your floor. I believe that that's where we're at right now. We are at this juncture of time. And over the last couple of weeks and the last 6 to 8 months, I've been talking to you about what, even the last year, I've been talking to you about even what the heavens are even declaring. The season that we're coming into. The heavens are declaring the glory of God. There's a new birthing. The year 5779 means the year of birthing. Last year, there was a year of birthing. On the first day of the 10 days of awe. I'm not getting into that again. Go listen to the podcast about the signs in the heavens. On the first day of Rosh Hashanah, sunset of the 20th, sunset of the 9th this year, which was Rosh Hashanah, there was a sign in the heavens. There was a comet that had never been in our solar system coming out of the Charioteer. The Charioteer is one of the constellations in the heavens. And listen, the heavens are the Lord's heavens. They're not New Agers or astrology. The heavens are the Lord's heavens. He created them. He put them in order. They are a cosmic timepiece that foretell what he's getting ready to release on the earth, just like when Christ came. We followed his star because he always reveals in the heavens what's going to be birthed on the earth. So, Christians need to grow up. Stop thinking stupid. We need to understand that the earth is the Lord's. The heavens are the Lord's. He created them. They're his. And the heavens tell what he's getting ready to do on the earth. It's supernatural. It's a divine blueprint. Constantly in movement, and they declare, they prophesy. So, last year and this year were two things that happened in the heavens that never occurred in our solar system, ever. And they're declaring there's a birthing. Bob was declaring something new is happening now. We've just been able to decode this stuff now, in this season. There's a reason why it's been kept hidden. Was that Bob? Yeah. No. Was it Jesus? No. Yeah. It's all God. Amen. And we are in an incredible season of birthing. 57, the year 5779 is the year of, come up here. It's the year of Revelation 4:1. Come up here and I will show you. It's the year of elevation. I want you to come up here. I want you to be lifted above your circumstances, lifted above your situation, you and your family, your tribe, everyone around you. It's a time of elevation where you're able to be lifted up so that you can see perspective, what's going on. It's a year for you to kill the snakes. It's a year for you, like an eagle, to pounce on the snake. You know that a snake, you know that a viper, a rattlesnake, a snake, when it's on the earth, it can position itself and it can strike because it has the ability to leverage itself and it can strike with great accuracy. But if an eagle comes down and grabs that snake and lifts it off of the earth, it's powerless. It doesn't have anything to leverage itself. It's powerless. It can't do anything. It's the year for you to destroy, for you to go after the snakes that have been in your life. You can see them from up above and to take them by surprise and to take them out. It's a year for you to advance. It's a year for you to disembody, disembowel, for you to literally, behold, Luke 10:19, I give unto you power and authority to trample upon serpents and scorpions, and I've given you power over all the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. And when the Lord said nothing, he meant nothing. Amen. You're coming in, this generation, your generation, this is for you. This is for your marriage. This is for your children. This is for your families. This is for your extended families. That's why the blessing, as we're it's really, I believe, why the Lord has been focusing on families and birthdays, and why He's been focusing on intergenerational blessings and everything that God wants to do, and how He wants to prosper, bless you, and bless your children. It doesn't matter what you've been through. None of that matters. This is a year of favor. Somebody better shout. This is a year of favor. Hope everything that you've been through, it's for a reason. It's to bring you to this point. Isn't that awesome? Not fun, but it's to bring you to this point, and to the degree of suffering, to the degree of, how you've been wounded, dejected, abused, is really the degree of the level of authority, and the degree of the level of suffering, the degree of the level of elevation that's coming to you in this season. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think most of us can say, that's me. Whew. So this is a year of birthing. It's a year of living up above the snake line. Did you know what above the snake line is? Did you know that there's an elevation as you're on the mountain? Elevation-wise, as you live on the mountain, as there's a place on the mountain in elevation where the snakes won't go above that elevation. It's called the snake line, because they can't stand the pressure on the mountain. They will only go up so high, and they won't go up any higher. It's called the snake line. We need to live above the snake line. It's a year of come up here, up above. Come up here where the atmosphere is clear. Come up here where no devil can follow you. Come up here above the noise, the pollution, the clutter, the clamor. Come up here to this place where no devil can hear your conversation. Come to the secret place. Come to the hiding place. Come to the place of my presence. Come up into my glory. Come up into my presence, and we'll talk face to face. It's called the secret chamber. That's what year it is. So I guess next week, if Ricky's not here, next week we'll talk a little bit more about this. But I need to cut this off right now because we have a picnic, a family picnic. And I want to listen. If you came today, I'm still in the spirit. I can see. I want to be able to start calling things out and start. I want to do that, but we can't do that right now. We'll maybe Wednesday. Well, I'm going to be here Wednesday. We'll be here next Sunday as well. We'll see what happens. But the Lord wants you to know that this is your season. It is your, Jesus. It is your season. It is your time. And He wants you to believe Him again. He wants you to believe Him again. Okay? I want to share, listen, when I get the clearance to share this stuff with Bob, I'll share it with you first. You guys will get it before anybody else gets it. Rick Joyner doesn't even know it. Not yet. There's others that don't know it. Bobby Connor, Paul, none of these guys know this stuff. But all these communications have been decoded. And it is phenomenal. And the Lord has kept it. There's a reason why He spoke it cryptically, because He didn't want everybody to get it. But now it's been decoded, and it's like, you're kidding. Ancient Aramaic decoded, and this is what the message that came from all this scribing and what it means. It's connected to the book of Daniel. It's connected to many different things. And it's connected to our time. And it's connected to the great harvest. I tell you, the devil's in trouble. And who cares about him? He's in trouble. There's a reason why it's in code. He's in trouble. Because there's a whole new people. And our families. I'm talking not just about this prophetic company, but families. Your children, your marriages. It's a year of favor and blessing where you just get it because you're here at the right time, at the right place. Isn't that amazing? I'm so excited. There's so much that's happening. All right, stand with me. I want you to put your hand on your heart. Hallelujah. Michael, come pray.
No things, we give you honor and praise and glory. Now, Lord, we want to pray, since it's our heart where all the virtues of life flow from. Holy Spirit, come and minister to our hearts. The things we know of and the things that haven't been shown. We ask you to come and bring your presence. Lord, come bring your grace. Lord, come just bring you, yourself, and tabernacle within us. God, I thank you, you give us clean hands and pure hearts that we can see you face to face. And Lord, I just thank you for this amazing time we're alive.
Yes, Lord.
So thankful to be born now. And God, I just rebuke everything that says we should have been born some other time. No, but we're thankful to be alive now. We give you praise and thanks for favoring us now. We honor you, sir. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.